Y'all, all right. So Deontay with Deontay's reviews back on these Kountry Wayne skits. So look, remember I've been telling y'all that when Candace went on this trip, I told y'all in one of my last reviews, one of my reviews back, I said, I believe they're going to try to make Candace and Shayla be best friends. We already said that. We established that. And that's pretty much what happened in his own little way. In his own little unique way, they became best friends, right, on this trip. And they got along to get along. I told y'all that when this trip is over, remember I told y'all that Amber is not going to be able to trust Candace, because if she ever found out that Candace went on this trip, regardless of how it happened, how Candace got there, she wasn't going to be able to trust Candace again. And then that was going to be like the breakdown of their relationship. And lo and behold, we get a skit with somehow Amber and Ernestine, green Ernestine, because she's so green to this drug life that she's so infatuated with, that she's so tied up in. They go to New York, and then they start talking about how Candace and Chase went on this trip with Shayla and Anthony. And Ernestine was like, that's foul. They foul how they did that. You know, the fact that they were able to get comfortable to go on this trip with them, knowing what they did, knowing what Anthony and Shayla did to you, that's foul on their part. And I agree wholeheartedly. I agree. Chase foul. And then the fact that Candace already knew what Shayla was about, but instead of her leaving to at least try to honor, you know, or be mindful or respectful of the pain of another married woman who was cheated on, you actually on the trip with your friends, you know, or your associate, whatever you want to call her, somebody that you cool with, somebody that you've been kind of backing in Atlanta in terms of supporting them while they going through this situation. You there with her husband and his side chick. Like, come on. So no. And let me tell you something. When you going through a divorce a lot of times, and this is what Amber need to do. Amber needs to purge her life of any mutual friends that her and Anthony had. She need to do that, because she can't trust none of them, to be honest. No mutual friends. She need to let Dalen go, because Dalen has loyalty to Anthony. We already seen that he knew about the trip, and when Brittany asked him about it, he tried to lie his way out of it, but she got it out of him that he knew about it. But yeah, he's still in Brittany's face, he's still in Amber's face or whatever. Amber need to let go of Dalen, Chase, Candace. She need to let go of anybody who was a mutual friend, because none of them are playing neutral. And it's coming off like all of them are enabling and or not really holding him accountable, and they just going along with the mess. And so for her healing, she need to just let them go. And she probably, in this season in her life, need to be on an island by herself until she heals and gets herself together. But I'm curious as to what their conversation is going to be between Amber and Candace and Amber and Chase when they get back to Atlanta. But drop it in the chat. What y'all think? Y'all think that Amber going to go off, or is she going to take Coca and Wayne's advice and just let it be and not even really come for them like that? Drop it in the chat what y'all think.